Meantime, the Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union at odds with a decision taken by the Atlantis resort requiring workers to vaccinate or foot the bill of testing, a requirement to enter the Paradise Island property. President Darren Woods says the union's lawyers are looking at its options as they also hope for a compromise for workers in an industry struggling to rebound. Here's Keishla Adderley.
Another quandary has developed in the COVID-19 crisis. This week, the Atlantis resort announced that hotel staffers who opt not to take the COVID-19 vaccine must, come September, foot the bill of mandatory weekly testing themselves. The Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union is not convinced that this is just. Union President Darren Woods.
The vaccination process, as the government has mandated, is not mandatory. Persons take it if they want to. And by this newest development, we see it that is a thrust to kind of get people to go into the direction of mandatory, I'm using the word mandatory vaccination, but if the employer or the government wants to make sure the persons are mandatorily vaccinated and something happens, then they have to also be prepared for the fallout.
Earlier this month, Atlantis let go more than 700 employees after a months-long furlough. But as union executives point out, those who remain are now left torn.
Persons are being paid bi-monthly. When they get paid bi-monthly, and you cannot get your test, because the test has to be weekly, every 7 days, they have to do the test. And so for that, they have to have that funds in place. If they don't take the test, they cannot go to work.
The union is, in the meantime, shopping around for the best group testing prices, hoping to lighten the load of members who have been inundating them with calls.
And we're looking into it to see how best we could assist our members by trying to find various different other places. I know Atlantis is a doctor's hospital. We are now looking at Buena Vista, we're looking at Bay Street Medical Center, places where the prices for the test itself is reasonable.
In the meantime, President Woods is tackling the legal questions, but also wants the government to take a stand.
Because we see this as a unilateral change of terms and conditions of employment. And so we would expect for the government to ensure that all the rights of all citizens are respected. Because at the end of the day, if the government is saying it's not mandatory, then we don't believe that another entity that is below the government can implement things that would kind of cause it to be mandatory. Because you could say, well, it's not mandatory by your words, but then your action says something different, and your action always speaks louder than your words.